All right, obviously, many assistant coaches interviewing this week. Jason, let's go around the league a little bit. Let's start with the Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan. Where is he going to be interviewing during the Falcons bye week?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy who can't do anything until this weekend. It's the bye. It's structured. He has 4 interviews set up. He's got, Jacksonville, San Francisco, L.A., and Denver. The Denver one is interesting because there's a big part of him that I'm sure would love to go there, where he literally grew up, where his dad is a hero, where John Elway, the guy who'll be hiring him, was his dad's quarterback, where he would be replacing Gary Kubiak, who also played for and coached under his dad. The scheme is a fit. He knows Brian Periani, Rick Dennison, those longtime Kubiak guys. He coached with all them in Houston when he was an assistant there under Kubiak on his staff. But, boy, that's a lot of pressure. It's hard enough being Kyle Shanahan, first-time NFL coach with that last name, to go right back into Denver, where his dad's shadow casts sort of the longest, darkest, deepest reaches, and come in there where the Elway pretty much expects to win a Super Bowl every other year. And, you got to get Paxton Lynch ready. You got to get Simeon ready. I don't know. I don't know. I've heard a lot of buzz and a lot of connection about him with Jacksonville. Maybe that's a better fit. We'll see.
What are you hearing on Josh McDaniels?
He's going to talk to 3 teams, just like Shanahan. He's on the bye week, so he has a window Friday, Saturday, where he can talk to teams. He's going to do 3 interviews. On Saturday, some other teams wanted to talk to him, but it's going to be the Jags, it's going to be the Rams, and it's going to be the 49ers. And I hear Jed York is all in on Josh McDaniels, that's the guy he's been tracking for years. He's very high on him. Can he lure him to San Francisco will be the question. Their dream in San Francisco would be to fly in there on Saturday and, basically get Nick Caserio to run their personnel department and get Josh to be their next head coach, and then just wait for those guys to eventually win the Super Bowl or lose a playoff game and hire them, because then they can work together. They already have a working knowledge of each other. They're comfortable with each other. I don't know anybody in the league who's convinced Nick Caserio is taking that job. I think they got a better shot of getting Josh than Nick. If they're able to get them both, that's a coup for Jed York. But I think the question will be, if they can convince Josh, then which GM is he comfortable with? How do they handle responsibilities? Who has roster control? Who is that other GM? But the fact that they blew Trent Baalke out of there was a big step. It makes that job more appealing than obviously it would have been otherwise.
Do you think there's trepidation on the part of Josh McDaniels or Nick Caserio working for Jed York?
They're going to have to be convinced of some things. I mean, that building has been dysfunctional and just sort of almost childlike, almost petty. Some of the allegiances and the alliances and the fractions, and it's very cliquish. And again, they're making the case to not just those guys, but any candidate that, hey, we're on Wounded Knee now. We have, Trent's gone. We're not in bed with him. Now, there's an executive there, Parag Marath, who's very close to Jed, and there's a lot of trepidation about what he whispers in Jed's ear. And he's a business side guy, but he's also involved in football. He's the main point person in terms of contacting people for this job. What will his role be in the organization moving forward? But they have to be willing to consider everything. They're telling these guys we're willing to consider, almost everything. If they had a football czar there already, if they had gone ahead and hired, whomever, a Polian type, a Tom Coughlin type, to be a true team president and oversee football operations, and then the coach and the GM report to him, and then he deals with Jed, it would be, maybe one of the most attractive jobs out there. But in lieu of that, there's still questions about Jed and how things are going to function and who you have to go through to get what you need. A wise man once told me, he who controls the purse strings controls the building. Are you going to Prague for cap space? Do you have to go to Prague on contractual issues? Or can you bring in your own cap guy? And are you going to be able to determine the budgets, with obviously some general parameters set by Jed?